Hi, good afternoon or good morning all, good day for people around the world. Welcome here at the Ask the Developer session about input tables. We had some technical issues, so the stream channel changed a little bit, but we are live sharing the screens here and ready to demonstrate input tables and to answer your questions if there are any. So today's session of Ask the Developer is about input tables, recently released by Apps for Tableau. And it really adds value to your Tableau environment. What we will be covering today is a short welcome and introduction of my co-host and me. We will answer your questions if there are any questions. And we also have some FAQs from our support division and our sales calls that we have, things that people tend to ask about input tables. So we will cover all of those, and we have a sneak peek into the future where we will show you some of the future developments that we are working on. Okay, next to me is Harm-Jan. Harm-Jan, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Harm-Jan. I'm one of the developers of Apps for Tableau, and I've worked on the Input Tables project, the product we will discuss in a few minutes. So I'm happy to tell you something about this product.
And my name is Siebe Grijpma. I'm the CPO at Apps for Tableau, and I host these sessions. And today, we are going to explain and demonstrate what input tables can bring for your organization. The resources we use are publicly available. You can download any of the used extensions via the Tableau Exchange. Those are free trials, but everything we demonstrate will work with the free trials. You can also request a trial on our website, subscribe for a trial. We also support on-premise POCs. If you want that, then please contact us at Apps for Tableau. And just for the record, our products are all available as a Viz extension as well as a dashboard extension. And we have an extensive amount of tutorials on our YouTube channel. So if you require any support or if you want to try one of these products, there's multiple ways to get a hand on these goodies. And if you do not manage to get the right products in the right time, you can always contact us via the support email address via our website. Okay, I don't know if there are any questions already for Harm-Jan about input tables. I will check the chat. No, I don't think there are people in the chat at the moment, Harm-Jan.
Okay, so far no questions. Then we just start something. I tell you something about input tables. So then let's explain what is input tables. So we already have Write-Back Extreme for some time and Super Tables, two of the biggest products of our company. And we try to combine those. So you already have the Super Table, you have a nice table. And how cool would it be if you then can also change your data in your Tableau dashboard and write it back to your database? So yeah, that was the question that was asked also by some customers of us. So that's a great challenge and a challenge we like to try. And that results into input tables. So let me close PowerPoint for now and switch to Tableau. So we have here our input tables demo workbook. You can obtain it in our trial page. So get a trial and have a look yourself. I would invite you to do so. And for example, one of the dashboards we created as example is a budgeting dashboard. Everyone knows a budgeting dashboard. So here we have one. We see the actual spendings and the budgets. Yeah, and that we see in the bottom table. It's the table you're used to. So you can sort it, you can filter. So it's a very dynamic table. But now we see that some budgets are overdue. So maybe we need to give them a bit extra money so they can continue for the rest of the year. So let's add the budget here a little bit. We can update this value to, for example, 700,000. Let me check. Yeah, that's the correct number because of course it goes back to our database. And now we see here that an update icon appears. And then it will refresh the data source in the background and we see an updated graph and now the bar is blue again. So he's still within his budget. It's a bit tight, but we've updated its value. So now one of the extra questions we get a lot is now my actual data sheet or original data changed? And no, that's not the case. We blend the data from the sheet and the write back data table. And that's what you see here. So the original values are still there. We can also revert back to it. And no data is lost. And we see also some audits. Here on the side, we can see the audits. So
Yes.
we see what has changed here.
This, of course, is a great example of using the interface of super tables, the tabular grid view, which is very user-friendly. People are used to working with tables from Excel. And of course, in Excel, you can also change values. But this introduces the nice interface of super tables, allowing you to catch the user input and the power of writeback extreme in the background that will manage all the storage of your data, the user input, which you can then reuse in your dashboard or maybe in an ETL workflow or other processes that are of interest using that specific data. Important thing to know is that the data is not actually overwritten. It's storing the user input in a separate table, so you will never ever change your primary data, because in BI environments or in dashboards, you usually don't want to override your existing data. You only want to add extra meta data to, for instance, play what-if scenarios or change statuses or add comments and stuff like that. So that is all possible using the input tables functionality, which is basically a 1 + 1 = 3 calculation of two very, very useful extensions that are already out there.
Okay, any questions from the chat maybe?
What kind of databases are supported is a question that is coming in from the chat.
Okay, in general, we support the same databases that are supported by writeback. So most general databases are supported. SQL Server, MySQL, of course, Snowflake is one of them. So plenty of databases are supported. And if you want to know specifically your database, then you can check out our website.
Yep. Okay. Another question we get asked a lot, Harmjan, is can this input tables extension be deployed in a secure and safe way?
Of course, we have our share version. So we host it for you and you can just add the T-Rex to your dashboard. That's one option. And another option is to install it on-premise. And then it's behind your firewall, so everything is in your environment. And one extra thing to mention is that we don't process data. We just provide the website and the extension. And in the extension, we get the data from Tableau on the client machine. And that's used in the extension. So we have no direct connection to your data.
So it's both offered as a SaaS solution as well as an on-premise or private cloud solution.
That's how you can see it.
How you can host. Okay, and the databases are the databases that are already in the infrastructure of the customer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all in your environment.
Okay, nice one. The next question we get asked a lot is, will it override my primary data? I already...
Yeah, we mentioned it briefly, but no, it will not override your existing data. The data from the sheet will be as it is, and extra data we add into writeback and blend over.
Okay. Then a question that is asked a lot, can I change existing columns and also create new columns in the super tables or in the input tables interface?
Yeah, I think that asks for a small demo. So let's see if we create a new sheet. Then we can add our Viz extension. At the bottom, we add one. Then we go to gallery and we see here the InputTables free extension. You can use it for free in desktop mode, so you can try everything, but you cannot publish to server for production. But on desktop, you can try everything you want with it. It's just fully functional. So we add it to the dashboard, or actually the sheet, I have to say, for this extension. And then we can drag some details to the marks here. So for example, if we want to edit a customer list or check it out, we can add the customer ID and name to the dimension. We also want to know the sales, of course. So how interesting is this customer for our business? And let's see what we have so far. So we just have our InputTables as we used to, very flexible. You can sort, you can filter as you're used to, but now of course we're interested in editing this. So let's go to the configuration. So we format the extension. And then we see here a new tab. So you go to InputTables. Here we explain a bit how it works, but we continue to the login. Then I quickly have to check this one here, because you can connect to your trial environment here. You can request a write-back trial and add it here. Sorry, wrong key. There it is. Let's update the URL, no slash at the end. And then we have here your account, Sibe.
Yes.
You don't mind if I use it quickly? Let's go for it. Okay, so then we go to schemas and columns, and we can create a new schema. So we have here the customer schema. So we know what it is. We map to a unique key, to the customer ID in this case, and we can select which connection. So this relates back to the question about the data sources, the database drivers. You can connect to multiple databases here. You create a schema, and we can create a column. So we can add a simple remark column, plain text, but we could also choose for a number or a Boolean or a drop-down. So many options here. Create a column. It is visible and we can edit it. We apply. And there it is. We have an extra column here in InputTables, and that's available if you are logged in to write-back. Now we can add a remark for a customer. For example, I spoke to this customer last week and he wants an update next week. So update for next week. So we add it here, and now it's in the table. And other colleagues can work with the same table and then also see the remarks for this customer. And if we, for example, have a group of customers that all need the address check, we can add it for multiple lines at the same time. Need address check. We add it, and now it's for these 3 lines available. And as we showed before, here we have the audit. So we see what did change. So we see the check address. It's for these 3 rows, and also this one we have changed. So yeah, so you can keep track of your data, who changed what, and it's very insightful. Okay. Question was also, can you change an existing column, right?
Correct.
Then we add an extra column via the configuration here. Go to schemas and columns again, and then we hit existing columns. And then we, for example, want to update the sales, because there's sometimes a quite small offset, so we can update it. We add a column. It's visible, and here you see a merge icon. So we overlay the data from write-back with the existing data, and then we hit apply and close. So now if I click this budget and we see it's 7036, but it's actually 2,500. So I enter the value and we update the data. So now you see also an existing column can be updated.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. That looks very nice, Harmjan, and very flexible. Of course, you don't want to change maybe the sales, but you can imagine that you can have budget columns or forecast columns and play around with the data until you say this is what I want, and then have your ETL process pick up your data and merge it into production. if you provide the proper status of the changes. But you can imagine that all these interactions can be live available in your dashboard, so people don't have to input their data in system X, wait for a refresh, and then view the data in Tableau. It's all in one cycle. You can have it in the same dashboard, the input and the result in your visualizations. So that's very powerful and very useful for millions of use cases that are out there. There's one other thing with super tables. We pretend to mimic the Excel functionality. And in Excel, you can easily add comments to specific cells of your spreadsheet. Can input tables do similar things and store comments per cell? Instead of creating a new column where you store the comments, can you also make remarks or comments on a cell level?
Yeah, of course we can. So I will show you. Of course, everything starts in the configuration, but now we go to the comments tab here. We can enable it and create a schema just for the commenting on this table. So we have here the customer schema, customer, and we call it comments. Primary key is, of course, the ID again, and we do it to the same data connection. Okay, now we close it. And now if we select the cell and we open the sidebar here, we see the comment menu, and we can write a comment. So we can see that this is an important customer for us, and we can save a comment here. Here we write the comment, and we see the comment in the side panel. And you also see a small indicator. It might be hard to see for the video feed, but here's a small indicator indicating this comment or this cell has a comment. And even better is that also other people can reply to a comment. So here we can, some colleague can say, for example, indeed, it's an important customer. And then we have a response. So you can build a complete conversation in a dashboard, no external tooling needed. Stay within your dashboard, work with the data, and add comments with the help of input tables.
Okay, that really looks nice. Quickly available for everybody, working together in the same table. Powerful features. You also demonstrated the bulk update. There was another question that was asked a lot. Can you also bulk update different cells? Can you also do it with the values? So if I want multiple customers to have the same sales, so
let's check it out. So we can make these 300, for example.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
That also works.
So the new columns and the merge columns, and the data is not overwritten, right? It is stored in a separate table and reused only in the way that you want to use it. So not overwrite existing data, but use relationships or blends to visualize it in your dashboard.
Exactly.
Powerful. That looks very nice. This is about it with respect to the questions that were asked through our support system and in the chat. So maybe we can go back to the presentation.
Okay.
Yes,
we
those
discussed.
were the facts.
Sneak peek.
So the sneak peek. So what we are working on at the moment with input tables and with super tables also in general is the option to offer combined columns. In these examples, you can see that columns in the table consist of multiple other elements like an image, a title, a subtitle, a value, a delta value or different value. So that's what we are working on to introduce in input tables and super tables in general. As a great new feature where you can really build highly formatted tables. And analytics-wise, it's also important, or at least very efficient, to have spark lines in the cell. And on the front image, you can see the last column consists of a spark line. So you can have either bar charts or spark lines like this inside one cell to visualize the trend over the last, say, 12 months or maybe last week. So that's all possible. And the same thing is input tables and super tables support calculations or formulas, how you want to call it. And currently those are available for measures, so you can really go wild on the calculations with measures. But they do not yet include calculations with dimensions and date fields. So that's also going to be available in super tables in one of our upcoming releases. So keep track of our socials, subscribe for our mailing lists, and you will be notified what we are working on. And especially for input tables and super tables and write back, you will be very, very happy with the new developments that we are planning on for upcoming year. So keep track of us and keep a hold of us, and you will be happy. Viz extensions or dashboard extensions, they are all available in the Tableau Exchange. So if you want to give it a try yourself, head for the Tableau Exchange. You can do it directly on the website or from within your Tableau version. For Viz extensions, you need Tableau 2024.2. Dashboard extensions work since Tableau 2018 and up. So they are around for a while. If you want to try them, they are all available as free versions in the Tableau Exchange. The only limitation is that you cannot use them on published dashboards, so for the viewers. So in Tableau Desktop, you can play around and fulfill every use case you want to check. And if you want to publish it on your Tableau server or Tableau cloud environment, you might consider a subscription, and that will allow you to publish it as well. So get to the exchange of Tableau and play around with our solutions and amaze yourself in all the options. If you have any questions, we have a support channel, and you can always reach us, and we are ready for you to help and assist on getting these things to work in your environment. Are there any questions? Okay. Looking forward to the updates. Thank you. Those were the last remarks in the chat. So if there are any questions left, now's the time to put them in the chat. And if not, give it a try and see you at our next Ask the Developer session. Thank you.